The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a young prince who yearned to marry a princess. But this prince was not interested in just any princess. He had specific criteria for his future bride. She had to be beautiful, kind, witty, charming, and, above all, sensitive. The king, his father, was quite puzzled by this last requirement. "Sensitive?" the king exclaimed. "How can you possibly determine if a princess is truly sensitive? This is something that often takes years to uncover. You don't have the luxury of time, my son." Despite his father's concerns, the prince was adamant. He believed that sensitivity was the key to a truly loving and harmonious relationship. Determined to find his ideal princess, he set out on a journey to visit every kingdom, meet every princess, and find the one who met all his criteria. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, as the prince traveled far and wide. He met many princesses, each unique in her own way. Some were incredibly beautiful, others were kind-hearted, witty, and charming. However, the prince could not be sure if any of them possessed the sensitivity he valued so highly. One evening, weary from his travels and feeling somewhat despondent, the prince returned to his kingdom. Just as he was about to give up his search, a terrible storm began to brew. Thunder roared, lightning flashed, and rain poured down in torrents. Suddenly, there was a knock at the palace door. The king opened the door to find a young woman standing there, drenched from the rain. She claimed to be a princess who had lost her way in the storm and sought shelter for the night. The king, always hospitable, invited her in and offered her a warm place to stay. The prince, hearing the commotion, came to see who had arrived. When he saw the young woman, he was struck by her beauty and charm. He wondered if she could be the sensitive princess he had been searching for. But how could he tell? The queen, noticing her son's interest and aware of his quest, devised a plan to test the young woman's sensitivity. She instructed the servants to prepare a bed for the princess in the guest room. Underneath the mattress, she placed a single pea, then piled 20 more mattresses on top of it. The princess, unaware of the test, was shown to her room and gratefully went to bed. The next morning, the queen and the prince eagerly awaited the princess's reaction. When she came down for breakfast, she looked exhausted. "How did you sleep, my dear?" the queen asked. "Oh, it was dreadful," the princess replied. "I hardly slept a wink. There was something hard in my bed that made me so uncomfortable. I don't know what it was, but it felt like a boulder." The queen and the prince exchanged delighted glances. Only someone with the most delicate sensitivity would be able to feel a tiny pea beneath so many mattresses. The prince knew he had found his true princess. Overjoyed, he asked for her hand in marriage. The princess, having fallen in love with the kind and handsome prince, happily accepted. The kingdom rejoiced at the news of their engagement, and the prince and princess were married in a grand celebration. The prince had found his beautiful, kind, witty, charming, and sensitive princess. They lived happily ever after, their love and sensitivity to each other's needs creating a bond that only grew stronger with time. And so, the prince's determination and patience were rewarded, proving that true love is worth the wait and that sometimes, the smallest things can reveal the greatest truths.